It's not a question about whether you're actually a furry or not. You just are. And Professor Lando here is going to explain why. I'm not questioning if I'm a furry or not. I know I am. I just have to accept it.
Okay, so again, I'm Professor Lando, and this is Furries 101. So this comes from Urban Dictionary, right? Okay, can you guys read that right there?
Someone with an interest in anthropomorphic animals. That is a word I haven't heard since like maybe 7th grade, 8th grade English class. I don't know what the fuck anthropomorphic means. But I'm sure the professor's going to explain it. I don't.
One would.
I'm asking questions too early.
An interest in anthropomorphic animals. So what is anthropomorphic? I'm not really sure. I'm just going to guess. Kind of.
Okay. Well, I don't know how helpful that is. Should I look it up? If he's just guessing?
Like humanoid, I think. Like it's upright. And it's kind of got like humanoid body proportions. Yeah, so let me try to illustrate. Bunny, it's in the name. Animal, right? This is the animal aspect.
Mm-hmm.
All right, okay. I gotta be very careful now. Here, this is dicey territory. This is a furry. Okay, this is. No. Yes. No. Wait a minute. Hold on. This is not a furry. This is what the best thing about class is. This is what the best we learn together. This is not a furry. A furry is someone who likes what is this? This is what
I mean, the problem is it's missing the big ass tail in the back with easy access, right? Have I taken like AP furryism? Am I too far ahead in the knowledge? Clearly there's something big missing here that any furry would immediately recognize.
we were talking about. This is an anthropomorphic because the animal here, you see bunny ears, it's a bunny-esque, right? This is bunny ears. And it's got the human.
Respectful has a name.
It's upright, okay? It stands on two legs. It's got like a head, right? And this is head. A furry is someone who that has interest in this.
Interest.
And what is this? Anthropomorphic animal. How fast do you have to be to outrun a furry in its natural habitat? That's a good question, but let me turn it on you. It's not the furry that you have to outrun. You know, if we're doing things right, the furry's got to outrun you. Know what I'm saying? This is quite a
What? It's the furry that has to outrun you. I don't know what he's implying here. I'm just gonna keep going. All I'm saying is don't leave me in a room alone with Judy Hopps. Oh no. Why not? Bro's a doctoral candidate in virology. I might be. I genuinely might be. And he already erased the board. No tail ever drawn. Yeah, I'm a little lost on the analogy.
Gotta outrun you. But let me turn it on you. It's not the furry that you have to outrun. You know, if we're doing things right, the furry's got to outrun you. Know what I'm saying? This is quite...
Because the point of the video is to explain why we already have an interest in furries, and we're all just simply in denial. I forgot. That is the main point.
A famous diagram used amongst professors when teaching furries. I'm not exactly sure of the origin, but I went online and I yoinked it, and I'll be presenting it to you. So that's just a caveat here. I'm not the originator. The furry scale. What are we going to be talking about here? Okay. This is the furry scale. This is a sort of classification for, one, the most simple question of all. Like, are you a furry? Am I a furry? Right? But also it's just the world is not black and white. There's hues of grays. There's in between. Right? Let's not be on one side or the other.
You are a furry. Everyone's a furry, whether you know it or not. I think the scale just shows like how furry you are rather than are you a furry or not. I'm not the professor here, sorry. I've simply been hitting the books a bit and I'm just a little familiar.
There's wiggle room. There is a pseudo there's like a pseudo zero, right? And that's just a person, okay? So this is just a normal person.
That kind of implies that everyone here is not a person. I don't know if I'm like looking too deep into it, but that I immediately got that impression. And I feel like furries are people too. You know? People are people. Whether you're a furry or not, which, by the way, everyone is a furry.
It's not technically a part of the scale, but this is just normal. Sorry, not normal. Let's use a different. Let's just use a different term.
Thank you.
I don't want to be the guy to say that furries aren't normal. All right, that's dangerous territory. Baseline. Yeah. Okay. So what's one?
Okay.
What's one? It's just the same thing, but what's different?
The tail.
This is just a person.
And
what's here? Right. Here. And here. The cat ears and cat tail, or any kind of ears, but the main distinction to make is that it's just a person, same thing, baseline person, you know. If you want to get really risky, you say just normal, both cat ears and a cat tail.
We don't say normal.
This is commonly known as, you know, not furry. You're good. Number 2.
What is this then? To me, the second you have even like an inkling of a tail, you're automatically furry. Like this should be the beginning of furryism. I'm confused about this is not furry. 2. Now we're starting to, you know, in the Matrix when he's like blue pill, red pill. We're starting to get into some sort of territory. You know what I mean? Okay, I see what's going on. So, all right. So, 2. We're still upright, but what's different here? What do we notice? We got a little more. Paws?
We got paws, but we're getting a little more feral. We're still human. Okay, we're still upright. We still got a pretty humanoid face. You can look in their eyes and still see a soul. There's still a soul there.
What is going on with the disrespect to the furry community, brother? This is strike 2. First, saying that non-furries are normal, which implies that furries aren't normal. And now this? Like a very clear implication that they have no soul. What the hell? I don't know how long this professor's going to have his job for. Maybe he has tenure. In fact, if it was dark, you might not even realize that this is different from this. We're a little hairier, semi-furry. All right. So, what do we got here? These 2, and this one even, we're maintaining a very humanoid head. Right.
Okay. But 3 is where we start to become more animalistic. However, you notice here.
Yeah. Starting to look like a cat. Like a straight up animal. Yeah. It's about to start meowing on the whiteboard.
That we're still maintaining an upright.
Nah, it's like human enough probably. Okay. To be fair, they deserve it. Why? What they deserve what? Furries are not normal, I don't give a fuck. Dude, it's like you think furries aren't normal, but you think you're normal for having over 6,000 hours in DBD? Like, what? It's just an interest they have. What makes you think they're not normal?
Right. And if you look in their eyes, you can still see a soul. And we still got
this soul thing, I think is still wild. There's still a soul. So I guess by the time you're at 0.5, there is 0 soul to be seen at all. Don't animals have souls? Would you really walk around and say that a cute little puppy has no soul inside it? Isn't there a saying that all dogs go to heaven? I don't know where this professor got his education from. No, that's why I know they are not normal. What's why? What do you mean?
The humanoid hair. Like, it's like maybe it's, you know, kind of like there's like a blending between human characteristics and animal characteristics. But we see no shirt here, but the plume, because the whole body is furry, okay? And maybe that's apt because this, furry. This is where the line is crossed. 4. This is...
Okay. So the furryism begins here. You know what? I'm starting to kind of see it. I still feel like you know, people consider like weed to be a gateway drug. I feel like as soon as you have this like tail and cat ears on, I feel like it's like a little signal, like curiosity. I feel like you might just end up you know, progressing down this line like as soon as this is on. And that's what makes me think that like the furry scale being furry, I feel like it begins here, like way earlier in the line. A person that wants to fuck an animal is cooked? No fucking way. It's complicated, right? Because I don't think furries are like inherently interested in like the actual animal. I'm pretty sure they just like the idea of like the fur and like the fuzzy feeling. Like I feel like there might be, speaking of like this normal thing, maybe there's normal furries and then like furries that like actually like need help. Because if they're trying to get into, you know, like actual bestiality, I think that's crossing the line a little. You see the distinction? Then wear a robe when you fuck. Yeah, I guess, yeah, it's kind of like wearing a robe with extra steps if you want to think about it that way. Yeah. But like again, it's like the idea, right? Like you'll know that a robe is a robe, but you're just like acting on that like idea, like the fantasy of like getting it on with a bunny or a fox or whatever, but like not actually doing it, right? Because you know, biologically it's you probably wouldn't want to stick anything in there, you know, because like we can't really communicate with animals directly, right? They're different species entirely. But like, if you have a human that is dressed like an animal, then you get to actually like act on that idea. So they want to fuck animals. Like I'm not a... Okay, I did open this up saying that like, oh, everyone's a furry. I'm not actually a furry. I don't know. I would have to like interview a furry to actually know. I'm not sure if the professor's gonna get to this in the other 6 minutes of the video, but we'll see if he goes into like psychology and motivation. But if anything, you might just be projecting, bro. That's like me saying I'm gonna dress up as a minor. See, now you're like, what is this about? And I think that actually is a... No, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Wanting to dress up as... I know that there's like people that dress up with like maid outfits, school outfits and stuff. What do you mean dressing as a minor just doesn't make sense? It's for furryism, not acting on... Yeah, no.
University. We're going to be covering the progression of humanity.
I'm not letting you on stream. The point is, I'm reacting to videos today. Also, can you stop typing in all caps, please? It doesn't have to be a yelling match here.
Listen to me. Human civilization didn't get to where it was by holding back. My favorite...
I think that is a core idea right there. Thousands of years ago, I don't know if we were born with the knowledge that we're supposed to, you know, fuck each other. 100% there had to have been some form of ancient humans, apes, whatever it is that we were before, that found some attraction in something else and gave it a try. Now, I would hope that modern day furries aren't trying to do this, right? There's so many implications and dangerous things that can happen with that. I don't want to say that the humans from back in the day were like uncivilized or anything like that, but it was more of like a learning curve that has been passed down generationally, and now we have it down so that the fucking is still happening within the species and the fantasy is still getting to be acted upon, you know, the same ideas that were there thousands of years ago. I don't know. I might be cooking.
Favorite quote, Hunter x Hunter, Netero, is never underestimate the human potential for evolution. Right? As we can see. And
I didn't watch the show, so I don't know.
I just want to say that we need to not be wary of venturing into difficult territory with some subjects. So that being said, let me just say now that is maybe we are entering some sort of territory here. Oh, God. All right, so 4, what do we have here? You can see here early on the progression.
You have the mask. It's like the full body.
Is very gradual. And then there is a clear distinction between 4 and 3. Way more animalistic. This is what I'd like to call it
it's an actual animal at this point. Even the joints have been changed to this is like a straight up animal. That's what I'm saying. It's the same thing. I think at this point it kind of gets there.
This is the Disney level, right? This is like Cinderella animals and the haunches, the general proportions of the animal are much more animal-like. We have a snout. Okay? But what is key here, okay? And at this point, we're already furry. There's no doubt about it. But I would like to point out.
Yes, there's no doubt. We're furry at 3, but again, I feel like it starts at 1. I still stand firm by that. I might have felt a little differently earlier, but I still think it starts as soon as the fur is on. Because at that point you've crossed the border of curiosity, and you've actually put on the tail and the ears. So I think at that point you've entered the territory of furry. But
that here we're still maintaining it still has a soul. It's upright. It can like do its little animal talks and dances and whatever, but it's sentient still. There's still a human mind maybe. It's definitely humanoid, but at this point only in spirit. Dangerously furry. 5. That's just an animal.
Yeah. Okay.
That's just a fox. The beady eyes. No soul. Only the instinct to survive. This is just a fox. See, even here, even at 4, even at dangerously furry, even here, there's still some sense of sentience. There's a human soul somewhere, if even just a little tiny bit. But this is just an animal. This tier.
Right. What are you doing, you sick fuck? Okay. I can agree. 5 is a bit too far. At that point, I mean, the name for that is bestiality. I don't think that's furry anymore. That's you've gone too far down the line at that point if you're interested in 5. But there's no way to recreate it. That you can have 1 through 3, because all of that is just kind of getting dressed. 4, I guess, if you take your hands and put them that way. 5, you're like, that's an animal. you can't get to 5 without doing some probably illegal and nasty shit.
Is what are you doing, you sick That's 5. Sorry. We don't want to get demonetized. This is what we the cursing is what's going to get us demonetized. What are you? I want
you're past the first 30 seconds. It's fine.
to see. I want to get a feel for the class. Okay, I need to get a feel for the class to see where we're at here. I will say, you know what? Me personally, I think I'm a 3. Now, here's a caveat though. I'm not an active 3. I'm not.
I would say I can't even be a 1 if I'm being honest. I'm at a 0. I'm all right. Because I'm pretty sure to get the tail on, it has to enter a cavity back there, right? People don't just like tape that on. You could go to 2. Well, that's good for you, man.
Not looking for it. I'm not participatory. If you what was I saying? Okay, see, I'm not an active participant. I'm not in the.
I think he's a furry, and he's in denial. The only way you can teach all this information is by being a furry. That is the only possible way that you can disseminate all this information for a class. So, it's alright. I want this professor to just be honest and transparent with the class.
I'm not in the jungle. I'm not wearing the stuff.
I'm pretty sure he just said he's a 2. Oh, okay. You're not wearing the stuff?
I'm not seeking it out. Someone said, a great man once said, luck is, what does being lucky mean? There's no such thing as luck. What luck is being able to take advantage of opportunities when they present themselves. Let me just say,
true.
there's something to be said here. 0 is just as weird to me personally as 5. Like if you're 0, you're not gonna go for 1. It's just the cat ears and tail. Like 0, if you're hard, you're just like, no, I'm 0. That's some Ted Bundy shit.
Excuse me? I have to hear that again. Did he just say if you're a 0, that's some Ted Bundy shit?
That's 1. It's just the cat ears and tail. Like 0, if you're hard, you're just like, no, I'm 0. That's some Ted Bundy shit. That's some serial killer shit.
How? What? What? How can this possibly compare to being the fucking Unabomber? It's scary to be normal. He's saying they so normal it's scary. But what if you just don't want to? You know, you just don't have that curiosity there. I am not. Yeah, I am not Ted Bundy. Yeah, Ted Bundy was the Unabomber. He was known for mailing packages that had an explosive surprise for anyone who opened them, and they were targeted as well. Or I think some were random. I don't know. I watched like a documentary a while back. I don't remember, but yeah, I think that's a wild comparison, an insane take that I'm gonna have to push back on it a bit. Yeah, oops, yeah. Thank you, Jibba, for the correction. Yeah, Ted Kaczynski was the Unabomber. Ted Bundy just killed people all the time. And it's safe to say both people are probably not, maybe on the furry scale they were at a 6, whatever that is. Yeah, you think it's insane because you're. I just think the comparison. They're basically saying that you like. The professor's saying you have like full on psychopathy if you're 0, but isn't the 0 the baseline of normality? He even originally labeled it as normal, and now I'm being gaslit into believing that if I'm not a 1 or a 2, anything before a 3, I have something fucking wrong with me in the head. You are so vanilla that you are insane. Okay. Maybe I am. I don't know. I'm into. It's possible I'm into other things that are still human related. I don't know. I can't really imagine myself. I can easily imagine myself fucking. All I'm saying is I've been capping to y'all. Don't say you wouldn't. No one can say you wouldn't. Oh, I'm praying I scroll and don't run into NSFW here. So what does this make me? Because you know what, I thought about it. Maybe I'm not a 0. This has to be... I think this is just like a 1. Like a 2. Not a 3. This is like a 2. I think. No, it's just still normal nails, little long cat ears. Okay, but the thing is, I was thinking about like applying this to reality, and not imagining it, just like fictional characters and whatever. I feel like if it's just drawings and art and whatever, I feel like anyone could be anywhere. I don't know. I'm like more lenient, more chill on that. I was like grounded in reality thinking about this furry scale, and thinking about like actually using the external attachments that slowly progress you towards the rest of this. But yeah, if we're talking art, and the appreciation of it, I could see myself being like a 1 or 2. I feel like that's pretty chill. I feel like most people would be somewhere around there. Okay, I agree. Maybe I'm not a 0. Nah, IRL. Yeah, nah, I'm staying at a 0 IRL. I don't think it'll, like, it's not gonna change the experience for me. Having these on. Now, don't get me wrong. If the other person wants to entertain the idea and try it out with it on, see if it makes them feel any different, hey, by all means. I'm here with Professor Lando agreeing that I'm not gonna be the one wearing any of this shit.
I think that 0 is just as weird as 5. See, okay, so let me rescind my comment.
Right.
Like, I think if you pushed me to my limits, if I went even further beyond, if I was to say, I'm the Goku of furry-dom, I'm willing to 3. But in terms, I think I think maybe I can consider myself an active 2. Semi-furry? Like, what is that?
An active 2? Is there a fursuit like right in the other room? Or what what does he mean by an active 2? You telling me if your girl asked you to put on some cat ears, you wouldn't? Maybe. But all of these have a tail. There's no diagram in the furry scale that has ears only. I feel like ears only would probably still be baseline. Because there's even like headphones that are, pink with cat ears. I don't think that automatically puts you, honestly, like anywhere in the furry scale. It's like pretty chill. It's literally just a bloop, like a clip on. The tail's a little more concerning. It doesn't clip on in exactly the same way.
You guys know dot hack sign, Mia?
No.
You guys know, wait, is it Mia? I think it's Mia. I don't know. There's a character in dot hack sign, which was definitely my furry awakening. All right, remember, get it all. I don't do slides, I don't do PowerPoints, I don't upload anything online. Well, I do, but it's all in Chinese and encrypted in Chinese, and you need to know Chinese to do it. And that's just the way Ligma University works. I don't know why. They don't offer any translations, no English, no nothing. So, I mean, if you know Chinese, you'll be able to navigate the sites and be able to find the resources. But if you don't, you got to copy it down, because I don't post it anywhere else. Okay?
I mean, it's all right. I'll just use ChatGPT to translate it all.
Moving on.
It'll be fine. And that's the end of that. That was an interesting journey. I don't know, I kind of feel like I didn't learn anything new, and that might just be my own fault. But, the conversation was interesting. Thinking about whether I would do that stuff in real life or not. I'll be honest, when I imagine like a typical furry with a full-on like fox suit and shit, I feel like it's hard for the typical person to not be judgmental about it, It just stands out in a way that is just off-putting for the average person. And I feel like most people, when they think of furry, it is spot on right here on the 3. Maybe even a 4, I guess, if the person is doing the pose and everything. But yeah, that was a fun watch. Do you feel furry enough? No, not really, honestly. I still feel like just my normal self, but who knows? There could have been some subconscious wiring that happened, and now I'm suddenly a little furrier than before.